Welcome to this week's tidbit. This week we're talking about exploring microaggressions. Our mission: Childcare Resources improves all children's access to high-quality early learning experiences by engaging families, caregivers, and communities. Embedded in Childcare Resources' daily work is identifying and addressing racism so that all children thrive in their early learning environments. Our vision: that every child has a great start in school and in life. Our values: we are stronger together. We seek continuous learning and improvement. We honor community strengths. What are microaggressions? Microaggressions are often described as small paper cuts that represent all of the times that someone says or does something that further marginalizes you because of your identity. All too often we hear these things, these unintended discriminations, which are just as harmful as intended discriminations and are incredibly damaging to all people, especially young people. There are 3 types of microaggressions. Number 1, microassaults. Microassaults, the most conscious and intentional form of microaggressions, best resemble what we are accustomed to thinking of as old-fashioned racism. Number 2, microinsults. Microinsults communicate rudeness and insensitivity toward someone based on their racial identity or heritage. These acts take away a person's dignity and sense of self-worth, but they do so indirectly. Number 3, micro-invalidations. Micro-invalidations exclude or negate the experiences, feelings, and experiential reality of a person of color. Here are some examples of microaggressions. Alien in our own land. Where are you from? Where were you born? You speak good English. A person asking an Asian American to teach them words in their native language. Ascription of intelligence. You are a credit to your race. You are so articulate. Asking an Asian person to help with a math or science problem. Color blindness. When I see you, I don't see color. America is a melting pot. There is only one race, the human race. Denial of individual racism. I'm not a racist. I have several Black friends. As a woman, I know what you go through as a racial minority. Myth of mediocrity. I believe the most qualified person should get the job. Everyone can succeed in this society if we work hard enough. Pathologizing cultural values and communication styles. Asking a Black person, why do you have to be so loud, animated? Just calm down. To an Asian or Latino person, why are you so quiet? We want to know what you think. Be more verbal. Speak up more. Dismissing an individual who brings up race, culture in work or a school setting. Offensive phrasing. Indian giver. That's so gay. She welched on the bet. I Jewed him down. That's so white of you. You people. You got gypped. Imitating accents or dialects. Social emotional impact. Embedded in this understanding of education is the idea that children learn best when they feel a sense of belonging in a community. This sense of belonging, however, is undermined when a community does not think critically about the ways in which each member's identity is embraced or marginalized. Children notice difference. They are hardwired to observe patterns in their world, and as they develop, they begin to ascribe meaning to those differences. They do so by tapping into the messages that are communicated about the ways in which our society values or devalues different identities across race, gender, sexual identity, class, ability, etc. These messages, unless interrupted, become part of the lens they use to understand and interpret their world. As a result, the interactions that the students have with each other and with adults in their schools and learning communities are infused with those messages. A kindergarten child being told that their skin looks dirty because it is black, a first grader telling her classmate that it is impossible for her to have two moms, or a teacher consistently confusing the two Asian students in her class are examples of moments in which a piece of a person's identity is marginalized. These acts of marginalization based on a person's identity come to be known as microaggressions. Tips to prevent microaggressions. Reflect on your own attitudes, stereotypes, and expectations. Assume the groups that you are talking about always are in some way represented in the classroom. Confront your own hesitancies. In those cases when students or parents or peers do have the courage to contact you and point out that they were offended by a remark that you made or an action that you undertook, listen to them. Do not expect students to be experts on any experiences beyond their own, and do not make them speak for the experience of the entire group of people. Talking about microaggressions with kids. Number 1, explore what makes up our identities. Number 2, talk about the difference between being mean and hurts that are rooted in our identities. Number 3, use children's books to talk about microaggressions. Number 4, teach kids that the impact of their words and the action matters more than their intentions. Number 5, role play how to respond to microaggressions. Number 6, support children who want to challenge microaggressions at school. Here are some examples of children's books about microaggressions. A Different Pond, El Defo, Yo Soy Muslim, Leon, Lulu the One and Only, Is There Something Wrong with Me? What Am I? My Hair is Magic, Morris Micklewhite and the Tangerine Dress, and Amazing Grace. Teaching about Native Americans in preschool and kindergarten, do's and don'ts. Number 1, do incorporate Native American peoples into the broad themes you already have in your curriculum, instead of singling them out for special study. Number 2, do present images that will counter the stereotypes about American Indians that preschools likely already hold. 3, do look for books, art, music, and curriculum created by American Indians whenever possible. 4, do be prepared to replace some of your favorite books or classroom resources. Number 5, do be aware of what may be sacred. Number 6, don't teach children false information about Thanksgiving and Columbus Day. Number 7, don't encourage dramatic play in which children pretend to be Indian. 8, don't include a play teepee in your classroom or home. Number 7, don't use stereotypical Native American music that comes in some school music series. There is a link to a printable version of this information in the video description below. Thanks for watching.